You are wanting to save weight by using a skinnier tagline for your rappel system. Here are a few considerations. Hello again, I'm Jason. A while ago, we did a video about using a 2 climbing rope system or a single rope with a tagline to allow for full rope length rappels. In that video, we go deep into a number of different techniques we can use, such as rope joining bends and various carabiner or knot blocks, so it might be worth checking out. Over the time that video has been out, I've gotten a few questions about choosing tagline materials, especially since we've seen the proliferation of dedicated hauling and taglines, such as the Petzl PureLine. Those specialist pieces of gear are starting to get pretty light and pretty small, with the PureLine coming in at 20 grams per meter and a 6 millimeter diameter. That has helped spur a line of questions about the possibility of using even smaller and lighter cord for a tagline. The short answer is that it is possible. The longer answer, like all things in climbing, involves trade-offs. Without getting into the trade-offs of using a tagline at all, again, I'd refer you to that earlier video we did, I want to talk about considerations that explicitly come from using skinnier materials. While every different material and diameter will have its pros and cons, I think about 5 broad trade-offs. The first is that a skinny material just will not have the same range of uses as a thicker material. I'm not going to use it for any life-maintaining application. It simply does not have the tensile strength or the thickness to feel confident about not accidentally cutting the cord. Heck, there isn't even enough friction to rappel on the line itself. The only way to address this trade-off is to not misapply the material to an inappropriate use. The second is that with larger diameter differences between the tagline and the climbing rope, we may need to know other joining knots than the standard set we are most familiar with. Here I'm tying a half Gibbs bend, and we have a short on how to tie this knot, but there are also other knot options. The third trade-off is that skinny lines can be very hard to pull. Now, as a tagline, that might not be an issue in some circumstances, but if we are in blocky terrain with a lot of friction or want to haul anything heavier than the rope, it can become an issue fast. One technique that can help was taught to me by a backpacking instructor who uses skinny cord to sling his food over tree limbs in bear country. He uses a carabiner, wraps the cord around the spine 2 times, and then moves the carabiner handle and cord coming from below in unison. But then there are 2 other issues. The lightweight material is hard to toss down a cliff without having the wind take it away, and skinny material tends to tangle much more easily. We can mitigate both of these issues by using a rope bag. We tie an end to the bag and then flake the tagline into the bag. I find that having a point to feed the bag that is above the bag makes this a lot easier, hence the carabiner on my chin strap. Once in, we can feed the rope out of the bag as we go down. It is possible that we could have a tangle in the bag, so we want to make sure we are rappelling with a backup that allows us to stop on rappel and work that tangle out, but it honestly has never happened to me. Of course, that means we have to restack the tagline into the bag at each rappel. So, there are a few considerations that come with using skinny taglines if we are really worried about weight. For this demonstration, I was using a 3 millimeter Samson AmSteel blue Dyneema weave, and you can see that 65 meters comes in at only 366 grams, or 467 with the rope bag. That's a fraction over 1 pound for both items, and with a minimum breaking strength of roughly 10 kilonewtons. But we are now falling outside of standard practice, and when we do that, we need to be aware of the trade-offs we bring into play. Got a tagline story of when it created ease or caused trouble? Tell us your story in the comments. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share if you want to support us. For more information, you can go to our website at www.shortguysbetaworks.com. You can check out that video I mentioned that goes into more of the methods for using 2 rope systems on rappel, or you can check out our entire rock climbing safety series. We'll see you next week and keep on getting more out of that big outside.